I mean, it's again, it's going to be mixed emotions. I haven't really been back there very much in the past, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Get an opportunity to see Coach K on the weekend, and just treat this like a high-level road game, and that's the primary focus really. The other stuff is it's nice. I'll think about it, look up, and see my jersey up there, and maybe see a couple of those banners, but then. Hopefully that'll give me and the fellas some inspiration.
So is the approach more play a narrower rotation and try to win the game versus developmental?
I would say that even though I in our last scrimmage distributed the minutes, at the end of the day we were still trying to do what we had to do to win. So I think that'll always guide where your thoughts are in terms of rotation. So. I'm going to try a different starting lineup than I did the first game, and I told the team that. So we're still searching to find the right combination and start getting guys prepared to get into the roles that we hope that we see that they'll ultimately be in. But I think as the game progresses, you'll see the guys that are doing the best having the most opportunity to get more minutes.
Have you been scouting this Duke program kind of similar to how you feel like you would normally just scout any regular opponent during just a normal regular season game?
No, because what I do is I have to make sure that we're getting better. We're still not there yet, and we just have to work on our execution at both ends of the floor. We really focused on breaking down the tape of our scrimmage over the weekend, and I mean, we didn't shoot great in scrimmage, and our offense didn't function as well as I hoped it would, but there were more issues defensively than I even realized in real time once we broke it down. So we had a lengthy film session. So we're still finding ourselves, and I'm focusing on the errors and the mistakes that we're making, and continuing us to get better more than what Duke is doing. I'll watch some film of Duke, but it's more about what we're doing right now for me.
What do you most want this group to get out of this trip?
Just that to take a look at what it looks like at the top of the food chain very early. This is a Duke team that is going to be very good, regardless of whatever hype is around them. It's real. I mean, they got real players, and my assistant coaches have briefed me about their first game and just what they looked like. So it's we have to be ready to play an elite team right away, and then. I think it's a good gauge for just what you have to still do and where you are, and just see where you stand at this point.
What can playing in Cameron Indoor in front of a packed crowd help with some of these guys that are new to the program that maybe a secret scrimmage might not be able to accomplish?
It's just you treat it exactly like a game. What it'll be like. For our opener, just in preparation, how we warm up, the crowd, that environment, it adds a different flavor to it, just having a crowd there, and it's one of the great places that you could play a road game, and so I think our freshmen, I wouldn't say all three of the freshmen, but a couple of them were a little bit shaky in the first scrimmage. Nerves I think surfaced some, but. That would even be taken to a different level just with their whole team, their program, the history of their program, the recruiting class they have, the recruiting class we have. So there's a lot of subplots, to this game.
What did you like about the scrimmage?
I mean, after I rewatched it, not a whole lot. I liked that we won the scrimmage. I did not really. I think we struggled to make shots that I haven't seen us make in practice. We fundamentally broke down, too much on defense. I just think that we showed some resistance and resilience late in the scrimmage and made some plays, which that was a positive. But overall, I wasn't really pleased, and I let the guys know that, and I think they are self-aware enough to realize that we were nowhere near where we need to be in order to compete at the level we're hoping to.
The issues on defense on the scrimmage, was there maybe kind of some telling signs in the practices leading up to it, or was it just a matter of the scrimmage setting so different than practice, you can only see it?
It was a lot of areas. It was we struggled to rebound a little bit early in the scrimmage. We gave up way too many middle drives. We had some breakdowns in ball screen defense. We either got rejected on the ball screen or we didn't get the appropriate hedge on the ball screen. And we also got no nail help. We say nail help one pass away was kind of non-existent. So whoever on the team we were playing was able to just kind of get paint touches. We gave up way too many points in the paint and paint touches overall. So we've worked on more of resistance, of keeping the ball out of the lane. That's been kind of a focus of ours defensively this week.
You mentioned Duke's recruiting class and sort of the hype around it. What's your own personal evaluation, sort of looking at that team, the guys that they brought in?
Of the Duke team you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's strong. It's what you would expect Duke to do in the recruiting cycles, and I mean Flagg is deserving of all the things that people are saying about him. He's got a chance to be special, and so it's more than that though. They have a new team. They're very much like us in a lot of ways, with not as much retention. They really have a high. They had a high turnover, a lot of transfers, and a high-level recruiting class. So it'll be interesting to see how it comes together for them.
Just looking from afar, what can you necessarily say about the job that Schreier has done? Obviously, in these years after Coach K, having to fill those kind of shoes, what can you just say about the job he's trying to do of keep up that legacy that you were just so much a part of as a player?
Well, I mean, it's a matter of time for him. It's just the way that program is built and what it's done historically and what they continue to do from a recruiting standpoint. It's gonna put them in a position year in and year out to compete at the highest level. And John has got a great mind for the game, really knows the game, understands the legacy of playing at Duke and coaching there under Coach K, and he's young and he's going to kind of take that thing to the next level.
What's the health of your team going into this?
Knock on wood, at the moment we're good. There's nothing really. We've managed to get through a lot of the preseason without anything significant happening. Some bumps and bruises and normal things that go on, but nothing that today going into practice that anybody wouldn't be available on Sunday. Austin Nunez had a knee that kept him out a few weeks, but that was a time ago, and he's back, and he was in the scrimmage on Saturday. Yeah.
Being a part of the Duke culture when you were a player, now heading into year 10 here at ASU, are there specific things about that culture there that you've been trying to implement over your time here at ASU?
I played there, so I learned a lot from Coach K, and I've tried to, I use him as a model in some ways, just how his relationships with the players, the pace of play, allowing his players to play freely. Like I was able to play my style of basketball. He didn't hold me back at all, so more like general concepts. I'm more, because I worked with my brother for 3 years as an assistant, I would say more of the things that we might attempt to do in certain ways would mirror more of what he does, but I certainly have learned a lot of lessons playing for Coach K and seeing how we went about our business when I was there. And, so I'm sure that has some part of what I'm trying to pass along to our team.
You mentioned at Media Day that this is the deepest perimeter team that you've ever had as a coach. So what specifically about the way that those skill sets mesh makes you come to that conclusion?
It's just the volume of guys, the difficulty of getting minutes for everybody at this point. It's not like I'm disappointed with any guy out there that I feel like we would take a big dip if I go to my bench and I could go 6 guys on the perimeter right now. So that's what I was kind of referring to more than slighting any other perimeter I've had here in the past. I've had some really good guard play here, but I have a lot of confidence in the guys we brought in the portal. Adam Miller has kind of been rejuvenated, just knowing he's going into a season with the uncertainty of last year, whether he could play or not is out of the equation. So, and then the portal guys I'm very happy with that we brought in. So it's I think we'll shoot it well. Those guys could really shoot the basketball. I was disappointed in the scrimmage that didn't come to fruition, but I think it's an anomaly. I think these guys would really are kind of selfless, will play off each other and can make shots.
I also try to figure
Sorry, when you go back and watch the film after Sunday's game, what are some of the areas of improvement that you want to see, or maybe some strengths that you're looking forward to potentially seeing?
Well, Duke's got a big team, and if they, I wanted John to have the film. I sent John the film. It's a closed scrimmage. You don't usually do that, but we shared it just so he could, do some film work with his team. But like I would be telling my guys to go to the backboard after the first 8 minutes of that scrimmage. We did not rebound well and closed them out. Our transition defense was not where it needs to be as well, and Duke is very good scoring the ball early. They play with pace and they get the ball down the floor quickly, so we got to make sure we get back on defense. And then in half-court defense, our ball screen coverage has got to be better. We got to eliminate as many paint touches as possible. So there were a number of things that we weren't happy about. Our front court did not work in post defense for position before the ball got to them. So there's a lot of things that you learn about yourself on that end of the floor. And then offensively, I think we were a little bit out of sorts and we struggled to make shots. And hopefully that'll improve with this next game.
When you look at the role for Adam, do you feel like he'd be a starter like he was last year, or maybe just like that elite six-man off the bench?
I just haven't settled in on any starting lineups yet. Adam started over the weekend, and we'll just see what happens the next 12 days, and that's how I'm using this. I'm trying to get guys out of the mindset of thinking about a starting lineup and just thinking about maximizing your minutes and forcing me to not want to take you out of the game. And if you're out there performing and playing the right way and playing well, then everything will take care of itself.
Coach, you had mentioned at Media Day that you weren't going to change your identity to fit into the Big 12. What do you feel like the identity of your team is heading into Sunday, and how do you feel like it'll help you stand out heading into Big 12 play?
I would just say that the top tier, and again, this will be my first go-around with the Big 12, but Iowa State, talk about Houston, Baylor, Kansas, very defensive-minded programs, very, very physical basketball, big size, all those things. We got some good size on the front court, and but I think our calling card has got to be, playing with pace, using the three-point line as a weapon, being able to attack on offense. And if we could do those things, then we'll be a little bit different. We're not going to be like a rugged style of basketball. That's kind of more what I was talking about. We're, I think, more of a team that should be, free-flowing and is pretty skilled on the offensive end. And that's what we got to kind of focus on.
More to Media Day. How was your experience in Kansas City for the first Big 12 Media Day of your career?
It was weird just because you're used to kind of doing things and with the pack and everything else. But they were people were very friendly, very accommodating. Everything was very efficiently done. It was a pretty cool setup with having a court down there, so you get a taste of what it would be in the Big 12 tournament. And the trophies were out there displayed as well. So it was I thought it was marketed well, and it was very easy to just get from interview to interview. So it was really good.
What was it like seeing Frankie again before the season, sort of reuniting with him? What was that like?
I thought Frankie and I, we had a good moment together, and seeing him, brought a smile to my face, and he did a lot of great things for us. And I'm very happy with the time that we had together. I didn't like his quote though, because I didn't agree with it, because I think anytime you lose at the buzzer, I don't think you get your ass kicked. So he's going to have to maybe revise his statement there, and I'll talk to him about that at some point maybe.
But you said you haven't been able to get to Cameron as much as you'd like to. What is it when you go back there that you reflect on, or that you think about when you're at that place?
Just that it's kind of a sacred place to me, and you haven't really always been great in life everywhere, and that was like one place that was kind of special, and it was I was so good there that that's why I'm not sure I resisted wanting to go back, because it just kind of want to leave it the way it was, and a really in a good place that it was left. When I finished playing my career there, but it was. We only lost, I think, 2 games there, and it was special every time you stepped on the floor when you played in Cameron Indoor, and I'm excited for our team to experience that environment on Sunday.
When's the last time that you were actually in the gym there?
My daughter went there, my oldest, so she, there was a homecoming weekend years ago that I was able to slip away and spend a day with her, and I think they had their like Midnight Madness, so that was probably the last time, a number of years ago. Yeah.
You've talked about the double big combination. Has that been something you'll try to experiment with against a team like you said that's bigger in Duke?
Well, yeah, I mean, with our rotations, we'll have Sean and JQ play together. We'll have JQ and Bashir play together. Sean and Bashir. So we'll have different combinations that will be available to us. And we've been working a little bit more with some small ball stuff as well. So we're just having options in case there's foul issues at those positions. So we're prepared for anything.
And what does the cause that this game is going towards mean to you and the team?
What's that?
What is the cause that this game is going towards the Children's Hospital?
Yeah, it's terrific. It's something that was as far back as when I played there. Coach K was very passionate about Duke Children's Hospital. Does amazing work, and John has adopted that as well, and that was something that was very important to him as we talked about making this game a reality. Just the impact monetarily that we could have for that hospital. So there's no better cause that we could think of.
Do you envision ever going to all three of those bigs at the same time?
I don't see that as a reality like this week for sure. I will never say that it couldn't happen because Bashir it could play away from the basket, so could JQ, and Bashir and JQ or have the green light to take open threes, and so that could be an option. But we're so, like I talked about, I think we're deep at 1, 2, 3 that I don't see maybe a lot of scenarios that those three would play together.
To kind of build off of having a different opponent schedule this year with the Big 12, have you had to expand your playbook at all to add different sets in place maybe having used in the past for like Pac-12 basketball?
I didn't really change a lot of things because we're moving to the Big 12. There's things that we'll do offensively that might work better for certain our personnel, and we'll try and put together a system that makes sense for the players that we have, and we try and do that every year regardless of what conference we're in.
Even though it is an exhibition game, playing a program like Duke and then going on the road to Gonzaga and later on playing against Kansas, what does playing against those blue bloods in college basketball do for your program?
I mean, it's just a great thing for us to get tested this way and just, like I said, see where we stand on Sunday and then have more film to be able to break down to start getting ready for the real deal. And but yeah, it's going to happen fast. Gonzaga's right around the corner, and so are some other really good games. I mean, Santa Clara is very good this year, and then you go to Gonzaga and GCU at home, in town here right after that. So there's a number of these type of games that are going to be right around the corner. So we gotta put our foot on the gas pedal and get going. Thank you guys.
Thank you.